Game development is incredibly gratifying work, and in my opinion, it's probably one of the best professions for someone to pursue if they value being creative. Especially if you develop games independently, you'll need to learn a variety of creative and practical disciplines that work in harmony to create a cohesive product. However, it's no surprise that while undertaking a task with such varying responsibilities, from coding to sound design to art and marketing, it can be easy to burn yourself out. For some, game development may be their primary income, and the stress of meeting deadlines, reaching goals, or even meeting their own standards for quality can contribute to burnout. For others, game dev isn't their primary means of income, and the difficulty comes from trying to balance their day job with something that has as many responsibilities as, well, another job. Though both cases are equally valid, I want to talk about my experience being in the latter category, and how I'm dealing with it. I recently had some time off from work, by necessity because I had literally become too stressed to function. I work at a financial institution, and while my job isn't very difficult, it can be extremely tedious and takes a massive toll on my energy and mental health. Most days when I get home from work, I don't have the energy to do anything. Sometimes not even to sit at my desk and watch a Twitch stream because I'm too fatigued. The mental and social exertion of just existing at my job from day to day is enough to drain almost all the energy I have to pursue anything else in life, which can be pretty demoralizing. However, there are weekends. And if I were to guess, I would say that maybe 1/2 to 3/4 of everything I've done in Lost Resolve has been done during long weekend sessions, where I finally had the energy and proper headspace to work on something I truly enjoy. That's a start, but having 2 days a week I can reasonably expect to work on game development is far from ideal, especially if I want to eventually do it as my full-time job. And make no mistake, that's absolutely my goal. During the couple weeks I took off from work, I finally had time and energy to pursue game development to the fullest, and in short, the experience was amazing. The Pirate Software Game Jam had just started, and I was all in on participating. Basically, my days looked like this. Wake up, walk to Tim Hortons for a cold brew and breakfast wrap, then go live and stream game development all day. Then I'd go offline and continue to work on the game because I was completely engrossed in it. I did this for about a week and a half straight and never got tired of it. It didn't even feel like work. I was just doing what I loved. Of course, that was a special circumstance, and I know that to do game dev for the long haul, I'd need to be conscious of my limits and take sufficient time to rest. But after having an opportunity to experience just a taste of what it would be like to do game development full-time, I'm convinced it's a goal that I'll stop at absolutely nothing to achieve. Unfortunately, returning to work was a harsh reality check. Even in anticipation of returning to my job, the energy I'd had those couple weeks prior completely vanished. I had no desire to work on anything, and even after 1 day back on the job, it was exactly the same as before. No energy. No motivation. Can't even enjoy playing a game, let alone making one. Before returning to work, I'd made arrangements to temporarily switch to a reduced schedule and work 4 days a week instead of 5, for the sake of my mental health, even though it would be a considerable hit to me financially. Unfortunately, even after just a few days back at work, I was right back where I started, completely burned out and utterly miserable. So where could I go from there? In my mind, the road to being a full-time game dev is a long one. First, I plan to finish Lost Resolve, and I have no expectations that it will be a commercial success. The purpose of the game is to learn how to make one, and to create an experience that is meaningful, enjoyable, and significant for anyone who plays it. At my current pace, I think I can finish the game by the end of this year. Then, I'll need to figure out what my next project will be, and that's when I'll go all in on the marketing aspect. Though no specific game is set in stone yet, I do know that it will feature fully custom assets, a brand new character, and unique mechanics and a world that build off of everything I've learned while making Lost Resolve. I'll prioritize making a polished demo, create promotional assets, and even launch a crowdfunding campaign to give myself the best chance of success possible. Even then, there's the chance that it's a total failure. But that's okay. No matter what, there will be lessons learned from the experience, and those lessons can be carried over into the next project. And I'll simply keep trying until it works. Of course, that doesn't solve the problem of being completely burned out from my job. And I apologize if you got to this point in the video expecting an easy answer if you're in the same boat as me. There isn't one. However, maybe a change of mindset can help. Instead of thinking of burnout as a problem that has to be solved, since many times it's beyond our means to fix the circumstances producing burnout, what if we embraced burnout as part of the process? I don't mean you should neglect your mental health or push yourself when you need to rest. Not remotely. But I think that what we need to understand is that living out your passions is not an easy road, and it's inevitable that there will be times where it becomes overwhelming. So ask yourself this question instead. Does my passion for this pursuit outweigh the pain it'll take to get there? For me, the answer is a resounding yes. As many 12-hour weekend sessions as it takes, as much exhaustive time and effort is required, and as many emotional breakdowns and doubts and insecurities I'll have to overcome to pursue this passion, the answer is yes. With that said, here are some practical tips that can make the process a little less painful. Don't deprive yourself of rest. If your body is telling you you need to take a break, take it, even if it feels like productivity is passing you by. When you do have energy and motivation, clear away all your distractions and dive in. I often keep my phone on my nightstand while I'm working on games, so there isn't any chance it'll distract me. Find a singular task you can easily complete and do it, even if it's something small. Oftentimes, accomplishing anything will provide positive reinforcement and motivation to keep working, and this can lead to a sense of creative momentum. Finally, don't view burnout as the end of the road. It's a speed bump, and one you may encounter multiple times on your journey. It's a reminder to pace yourself and take care of yourself, but not an indication that your pursuit isn't worthwhile or that you should give up entirely. I bought a whiteboard recently to keep track of my game dev goals. However, after a few days of checklists, I wrote something else that is considerably less specific. Stop at nothing, make it happen, no matter what. If there's anything you want to do in life, understand that it's going to be hard, and there will be multiple points where you want to give up. That should never determine whether you pursue it or not. All that matters is whether or not you love doing it. As long as the answer to that is yes, pursuing it is a foregone conclusion. So, friends, if you're feeling burned out today, relax. Or if you're like me and feel burned out 5 days out of the week, also relax. Whatever you're going through now isn't forever. And as long as you keep the candle lit, there is going to come a day when you have the strength to return to your passion. And just keep coming back, whenever you're able, until the mountain that lay ahead of you is the peak from which you're looking down. You can do it.